Hello, welcome, welcome. My name is Kwabena. Welcome. Today is Sunday afternoon, and I want to share with you Diaspora. Don't be that negative. Diaspora, don't be that negative. And hopefully, it will be a good discussion. I've watched some few videos on Jamaicans who moved to Ghana, on Ghanaians who have moved to Ghana, Americans who have moved to Ghana. They say good things about Ghana. And one of the things that runs through is that they say that if you live here, if you come to Ghana for holiday, then it's okay. But once you want to live in the country, and then the reality, you are met with the reality. And even those who just Ghanaians who were born here, who moved and have come back, they also have similar complaints. And I would want to share some thoughts on what I think it is, because sometimes it is about the big picture more than individual comfort and career and livelihood. You know, a lot of the times it's far more than that. And I think that is what the Africans must know. The Africans who live on the continent and the Africans who live anywhere. If you see Africa as if your concern is about Africa, if you want us to develop, if you want us to be prosperous, you should understand the situation, and you should know that it's far beyond just individual looking for a place to cool down and to become very happy. It's a project. Africa is a project for all of us, because we like it or we don't like it, we are together, and we are treated. If you look at the global structure, especially the global white supremacy structure, which has military power, which has wealth, which has carved trade to favor themselves, which has put a lot of immigration laws, diplomacy works for them, economic empowerment works for the white man. So those of us who think that it doesn't have to be so, and things must change. The machinery which enslaved Africa, which colonized Africa, and which created hatred for the black man all over the world, that machinery has been running for at least 500 or 600 years. So, and that has been the standard. To many people, that is the standard. So that's why when they come to Ghana, they are talking about road, they are talking about water, they are talking about housing. They are talking about government officials and the way they behave. They talk about work ethics. So to what is the standard? What do they compare the standard with? So they compare the standard with, I heard somebody says that, the exposure, especially when the Africans talk about exposure, they are talking about the Western standard, the white built standard that vilifies them, that oppresses them. They still call it a standard. And when they come to Africa, a lot of them think that we are not exposed to the standard. They didn't have problem when they were not exposed to the standards in Africa. They didn't have problem when they were not exposed to the cultures in Africa. But when they come, now there is a standard somewhere, how it is done in America, how it is done in Canada, how it is done in England, the comfort, how the systems work, the internet, the electricity, the water, the housing. But when I look at the structure, when I look at where money is, and when I look at where power is, I don't find a lot of our people there. So if that is the standard, why are people at the bottom? So obviously the standard has to be built, and that has to be built here. The standard has to be built, and the standard has to be built in Africa. All right. So when you come when you come, please come knowing that this is our project. The same thing that oppress you, that destroy you. Of course, if you were born here and grew up to a certain limit and you go to live in some of those countries, you think it's a blessing. You think it's a blessing. A lot of Ghanaians, when they move from here, they think it's a blessing. They think it's a blessing. They said, as a matter of fact, people take passport, go to church, pray that God should help them get a visa. And so some of the things that I'm going to talk about is diaspora must don't be that negative on Africa. Because some of the things, I watched a YouTuber the other time, he was talking about all the negatives. He came here, and then finally his final statement in Ghana, I see this, there's a serious disparity between the rich and the poor, and the government does not care about them. If you start a business here, you don't know who will come and start another business in competition with you. I think I've met some great diasporans, and I think the difference is in their consciousness, is in the knowledge they possess, is in the things that they've been brought up with, is the studies, is the span of history, is the self-identity, is the understanding of the global power structure, is the understanding of African dignity, of African safety, of African prosperity, is that understanding. If you talk about those who want the dignity of Africa, those who want the prosperity of Africa, those who believes in the freedom for the African, those people who have studied these structures and history for years, when they come to Ghana, they are not looking for self-comfort. They are not even looking at, I'm building business for my family. I'm looking for money. And some of them even think that they are coming to Africa to help. I've even heard people say that Africa does not have what it takes to develop. Everybody must come from somewhere. I think those are all just not so much true. Of course, Africa is open. Africa is welcoming all her children, and is our heritage, is our common heritage. But for us to believe that those on the continent know nothing, and they are untruthful, they are unpolished, they are uncouth, they will trick you, there's tribalism. It's sad. It's a sad situation. If you have lived here for 7 years and those are your observations, the problem is largely with you. And when you say something like this, people say that, why you don't want us to be objective? We are not talking about objectivity. We are talking about a continent that has been destroyed, invaded for years. And you come and you still want to add up to the negative. For me, that means that you have not studied. You are not strong. You still want, just as I heard the other time, some white men, some people still want the white man to colonize Africa because they think that they will do better job than the African leaders. And these are people who have not learned anything. My thoughts on everything. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Tilly to the top. Thank you very much. Here's the like button. Thank you very much, Marie. So these are things that is for me, is our common heritage. And so when you come, we know, we are aware. But the problem is that when you come, you should at least, looking at your level of exposure and of your expertise, whatever that you want to do, if you want to partner with anybody, look at also their exposure as well. Maybe you're a professional, you're a corporate person, you come and you want to deal with somebody who is not so much in that category. You should expect the way they also operate in the world they're operating. But for me, when you come and you deal with one Ghanaian somewhere, one African in Nigeria or in Kenya, and then you want to extend it to all of us, as this is how the Ghanaians behave. Somebody even said that, oh, the Ghanaian character is like the Anansi, the spider story that we have in our community, which says that, the spider is very crafty, Anansi is very crafty, they will not come as they are, but they will trick you. I think those are very unfortunate words that they use on us. It's very unfortunate and it's very insensitive. And you are just behaving like the system of the white man that has oppressed us for all these years. The white presence that if you go to India, I hear that the Africans in India are more treated. I go to China, is the same. I go to Dubai, is the same. I go to everywhere, is the same. The only safe place for the African, I dare say, to a larger extent, because of the number that we have, is Africa. And even that, in terms of the controls, the power structure, the Europeans still have, some bit of advantage. So when you come, I think that you have to be absolutely positive, in spite of all the negatives that you see. Ghana is about the #1 country that had independence. In 1957, we are just about 63 years old. In that 63 years old, half of it were military experiment. Kwame Nkrumah's first 5 years or so was good. Were good years. The latter part was always fighting with his people, with his team, with the external factors. When Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown, the next year or so, IMF and all those organizations started to give Ghana loans, and they started to take mineral concessions for European and American companies. What do you think they wanted him out? Because he was not dealing with that, and they thought that he would go to Russia and to those other countries. The interest has been money. So all these military coup d'etats that happened, they took half of our years, which we should have used to develop. Ghana is just a creation. It's a recent creation. Before 1957, Ghana existed as Gold Coast, as they say. Who called that Gold Coast? It was gold which was here. But Ghana, as we know it, is just recent. And half of it were used as experiment by military boys. The other one that they call democracy, even those leaders who trained them. So when you come here and you are complaining about the roads, the water, the institutions that don't work, maybe I'm offering excuses, but you should also know that if you want to compare a country like that to countries that have been around for 100 years, 200 years, with cheap labor, free labor, invasions everywhere, taking minerals everywhere to develop, you can't compare like that. It will take a while. It will take a while. We are not making excuses. So I have to say that we as Africans must be absolutely positive about Africa. If you come here, you must be positive. Look for the good things. Some of them talk about our work ethics. And they say that we promise and we don't deliver. It depends on the level of the people that you're dealing with. I also deal with Ghanaians who are very professional, who are very truthful, who are very honest. So when you deal with a session of Ghanaians who will try to be very nice, but are not sure of the processes and structure, because if I'm building business, I must have processes and structure. I've made a skill. Some of them is just a self-employed business, and your expectation on him is so much. If anybody fails him in the chain, he will fail you. A lot of things that are done in business are done, out of continuity. You are taking information from somebody. So if this failed, maybe he's not able to come and hurt your feelings and be that blatant with you. That is the culture. Can we improve on that? Maybe. But what even shows that we must improve on that? Because a lot of these management structures around the world is not so much. Understand that. Much of it is inhumane. It's built out of more treatment of human lives. So when you come and you say that they are not straightforward, they are not honest, one, we should identify the kind that you're dealing with, the size of the business you're dealing with, the people that you have dealing with. What is the level of the expertise? What is the value level? What is the trust level? You can't just pick anybody, work with them, and when things don't go well, then you say that it's like that. It's not like that. We are forcing. We are pushing. And this one is not just only with diasporans who are coming, but those who even lived there and went. They are also very much negative. Those who lived here, Ghanaians who live in Ghana and went back, very much negative. When you're dealing with them, when it comes to bad things, we so much comfortably accept it on us as Africans. But when you say good things, sometimes when you even make, let's say you make a bag and it's very nice, somebody will say, it's made in Ghana. Is that true? That's the kind of conditioning that we have. But when it's bad, nobody will say, is that true? That bad bag was made in Ghana? That bag was not nice. You will not be shocked that it was not made in Ghana. Can you ask yourself, have you asked yourself, why do I think when it's good, then it has to be America or England or Australia or maybe even China? It can be Africa. That's the kind of programming that we have. So when we come, those are the eyes that we are using to judge ourselves. And I'm saying that you have to reprogram that. You have to decode those things, or you'll be frustrated. Because the big picture is not for you to just come and have comfort and even build a house or build a business. But the big picture is to build a force, an African force that can withstand these powerful forces that have subjugated us for years. That is the agenda. The agenda is for you to lift these people to be aware of themselves and to work together to take advantage of all the blessings that the Almighty has given us, the minerals, to create a prosperity. Not that American company, white American company will come and take all the minerals or the oil or build all these companies here and move the money from Africa to their countries, because their goal is wealth. That's all. They just want the money. They don't care about the people that much. And you also come with the same kind of judgment. It's sad and it's painful and it has to be stopped. We do a lot of those because we think we are being objective. You're not being objective. If you go and somebody has beaten somebody almost to the point of death, you go there, you don't say that I'm being objective. Why did you pass there? The person is bleeding, is dying, is at point of death. The least you can do is to encourage those people. So a lot of the actions that we do that you're not so much happy with, we are the ones to build the structures and develop our people. So you see those as opportunities to make contribution, but not to come and say that the Ghana that we talked so much about, there is tribalism. I read even an article where the person was saying that the Ashantis are fighting their clans. I'm like, so how do we even trust your level of honesty? How can you say that the Ashantis are fighting their clans? Ashanti is part of our clan. So why is it fighting their clans? And that there's tribalism between the Gans and the Airways, Ashantis and the Airways. Those happen even in your family. I don't think that any family with 5, 10, 20 people, everybody's on the same page. There will be little fights. But I can tell you, tribalism is not as a big problem as they want us to believe. I don't think so. That you see that an Asantema will pick a gun and go and kill a Gaman because it's Gaman. No, that's not it. Yes, of course, there are prejudices everywhere. There are disagreements everywhere. Just as in your family, you will disagree with your sister or your brother. But if you really have good eyes to see, we have done good work as Africans trying to live with all these various tribes. In Ghana alone, over 200 languages that we speak. How many tribes do we have? So many of them. And we live together. We have lived together for all this while. If you go to Ivory Coast, half of it is Akan. That part should have been part of Ghana. If you go to Togo, you go to Benin, a lot of them are Airways. Those should have been part. Maybe those should have been part of Ghana as well. So we try to live together as a people. And you come to say that there is what? Tribalism? And it's a major problem? No, tribalism is not a major problem. You go to any big institution in a country, all kind of people head all those institutions in spite of tribe. There will be problems, yes, of course. Just as there are problems in your family. There are problems, but they are not largely because tribalism is a structure that is making sure that some people are paid less, some people don't have access to wealth and power. No, Ghana has, even when it comes to women, Ghana has relatively good grounds for every woman to have fair chance, of course. And you come to Ghana, we have Supreme Court Chief Justices who are women. You have top professors and lawyers who are women. We have business people who are women. There's not much structures in place to make sure that women are paid less or are more treated. Of course, there are some cultural biases, but largely, there is no definition. You go to our universities, half are women. You go to our secondary schools, the best of our secondary schools, we have only female secondary schools. So these are the ideas, these are the eyes that you have to see if you want to come to Africa to contribute. We must be absolutely positive and talk good about our country, talk good about our continent. Don't just come and say, I'm being objective, just as the white people have done all this while. They tell us that Africa's problem is leadership and corruption. They don't tell you all the systems that they put in place to extract all the money and the oil and the minerals from here. They don't tell you all the structures they have put in place to feed their greed. They just tell you that the African president is greedy. Even those who are doing well. They don't tell you the presidents that they kill, those that they move, those that they planted there. So my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about diaspora. Don't be that negative. Sometimes you talk to them and it's a very sad situation. It's a different culture. No culture is better than the other. Every culture can be subsistent. Our culture is different from American culture. Our country is different. So don't come here and try to define. Don't even run your business as if you're in America. It won't work. Why? Because here, maybe the interest rate is high. The way the people work is different. The structures are different. If the businesses that we have built here, maybe if you built those things and you were white people, you'd probably be billionaires by now. I don't understand why somebody has 100 million today, and tomorrow that 100 million has become 50 million because there's a drop in share value or share price. And so a lot of the things that they have built that you are so much hooked to and you think that is the standard are just machinations. Okay, but we don't have those structures. It's for instance, we don't buy on credit. People buy with money that they work for. In other cultures, people have to have credit card loaded. If they don't have it, the bank gave it to them. They go and use it, and later they probably will pay or they won't pay. So there are things that are entirely different, and therefore, those are some of the things that we've been told so much that it's domination from the European structure, and they try to use it everywhere. And that has not helped us. So when you come, be positive. The tribalism is not that negative as you say it. It's the white and the religion. The person also talk about the religion. Tilly to the top. Thank you. Okay, I'm having a different perspective now. We need to have different perspective as a people because we've been told so much. We've been groomed not to trust ourselves, not to be positive about ourselves. The good thing, even if it's 1% positive that you see in any other African country, focus on that. You can build a lot with that 1% that you see. The negatives, if you want to focus on them, you go back. The other thing they talk about is the religion. They say that all the Ghanaians are very religious, but they are not truthful. What kind of religion that you think they introduced to us? What kind of Christianity that you think that they introduced to the Africans? The last time I went to the slave dungeon at Cape Coast, there was a church somewhere, and they kept the Africans in chains at the time. And this is the kind of Christianity that they taught us, that I can put you in chain and leave him in comfort, all right, because I represent God. And so you will see that a lot of our religious people, a lot of our religious leaders, similar system is being run. The people are kept in darkness, and they are praying to God to come and deliver them. And they look up to God who represents. They look up to somebody who represents, who looks like God, and they wear suit and tie. A lot of the structure, the religion that we see here is purely an extension of European culture. Most of the Orthodox churches that you see here, they sing European songs or tune or melodies or same tempo. And the theology, who taught these pastors? At what point did they teach anything African? It's still the British one that they came to teach them. And what did the British teach? The British, what was the mindset that they had on the Africans? Very unpolished people, lazy people, ignorant people. That's the mindset that they taught their people to teach us. So this is what the Africans. And when they pick one from them, they tell you are different. The same thing that they teach you in America, in Jamaica, in all these areas, they teach you the same thing. This one is different. You look like us. You are better off. I remember in England, somebody told my wife that, you are different. You are better than Nanama. I said, why am I better than Nanama? I'm just different. Just because you speak the English. So that is the kind of conditioning that you have given us. So when you come and you see that people are practicing this kind of religion, it's your duty to help the people to see that there is more to religion than just what you know. It does not make them inferior. It's just the knowledge that they have. If they get better knowledge, they will improve their lives. And sometimes even the people who lead them, they look powerful. They look like they have a lot of following, but most of them, the knowledge is very far from the truth, because the knowledge subjugates the people. The knowledge makes the people poor. The knowledge makes the people wait for God to come and deliver them. This is the kind of practice that we have, both in the Orthodox, in the Pentecostal, charismatic movement. Much of what we teach the people is this. It's not that the people must be confident in themselves, be proud in themselves, and take the resources that God has given us and change them to create the prosperity that we have. So it's a problem not only from the bottom, but it's also a problem from the top. And sometimes, genuinely, some of them are ignorant. In as much as some of them look like they talk with powerful voice, but the measure of what you say is the content of truth that brings liberation and freedom and empowerment to the people. That's how we measure. So the quality of what they have taught the people, if it were that quality, the people will be empowered, the people will wake up, the people will be free, the people will be able to take charge of they will not be looking for another man to come and help them. They will not be blaming demons and Satan to come and, that one responsible for what they are not able to achieve in their life. So these are the things that they teach them. Okay, so that's why it's rampant. And don't also forget that most people then find this as the way to build themselves and to have livelihood and to become powerful in the society. If they can use that to take advantage of the masses. If I have 10,000 people who follow me, if I have 10,000 people who are following me and I collect offering from them, you think that I will let that thing just go? So when they talk about the religion, even in Islam is the same thing. The kind of Islam that they practice in Africa is different from the kind of Islam they practice in Saudi Arabia. Much of it just destroyed the culture of the people, the identity of the people, destroyed their name, their tongue. And the things that they teach them do not equip the people to fight and be proud of themselves as Africans. So these are genuine problems that we have. So when you come as a diasporan, you look at that, you should be able, if you have studied and you have built yourself, you will know that this is a problem that we all have to solve, than to say that the Africans just very dishonest people, work ethics is not good, the government does not care about the people. Those are not the things that we want to hear. So Bibinim Africa, yes, today I'm talking about diasporans. Don't be that negative, because it's another portion where they come and they are so negative. It's not just about the fun, it's about a call to build our continent, and it's our heritage. Whether you've been here or you've been separated from here for the last 500 years or 100 years, whatever it is, once you look like me, the global power structure, the global white supremacist agenda treat you and treat me as the same people. Maybe they put those of us who were born on the continent down, but or they put you, if you have American passport or Canadian passport, maybe you will think that you're better than that, but that's not it. They still classify us as the same, And so I'm talking about be positive. Once you come here, be positive about us and understand the structures that have been used to subjugate and to control us. And if you don't know, we are about the most resilient people on earth. With all the agenda, with all the invasion, with all the things that they had in mind. What do you think the Second World War and all those wars that they had, what do you think they were for? Was for the invasion of Africa, was for the destruction of us. We have not just, it's not lucky, we fought back. So there's so much that we need to learn and to appreciate ourselves and be strong people. Okay, so when you come, we have gone through that as Ghanaians who even speak the same language. We've been tricked, we've been cheated, we lost money. But that's part of any culture. Yes, once they, yes. Yeah. So we've been taught to be negative about ourselves. If you meet any strong African, they're very positive about the prospects of Africa. If anytime I meet any African who is trying to be negative, I know that this one has a lot of learning. Am I being judgmental? I will be judgmental, but I will not judge, because there's a lot that all of us don't know. Look at the kind of education that they give us. It's not education to empower us. It's education to be servants. It's education to look to the white man. Look at CNN, for instance. Proud to the social media, as they say. A lot of the content that we saw about all these countries were edited, were the ones that they had to show us. They wanted us to believe. A lot of the content that they showed you about Africa were the ones that they'd edited. This BBC, CNN, all these people, they had agenda to promote Africa in this particular way. And that's that you saw, even in their movies. If we saw anything on African Americans, a lot of the times they were not good things. I remember one of the movies that I watched that I was fascinated was this movie that this guy Chris Rock became the president of America. It was so inspiring. It was a great movie I watched. But other than that, a lot of the other movies that you watch, if you see African, I always ask myself, is that all that they do? It's an agenda. Our mind is what they battle for. They can only continue to do that when they keep the masses. Africa's development is not so much about African leadership. It's so much about enlightenment that will come to majority of our people to see the lies and the structures that run Africa. These things are the ones that will bring the liberation. The things that we're sharing, the things that everybody is talking about, and it's more on the positives, on our heroism, on our victories, on the things that we have done, the things that our forebears did, the great wars that they won, the products, the theories, the things that they pushed, the kingdoms that they built. Majority of our people are not aware of these things, even though they live here. And these things are not largely even taught in our schools. And once we don't know these things, we become weak as a people. And that's why you can come here and the only thing that you want to see is the negative. The only thing that you want to see is the negative. And the more you see the negative, it means the more negative that you are programmed yourself. You know, that movie is The Head of State by Chris Rock. Is it? Yes, something like that. You know, so there's a lot that we have to learn. So we are saying that when you come, you will meet people who will screw you. We agree. You are living here. Sometimes the system can be frustrating, but that is the system that we have. But if you focus on just the negative, you will not be able to do anything. And you just focus on yourself and your happiness and your livelihood, you have lost the main agenda. The main agenda is to empower the people so that we can be the ones fronting our prosperity, our dignity, our safety, and our wealth. You know, so if it's just about you building some house and living in with your wife and your children, we so need you, but we don't so much need a lot of that. We need people who are coming to empower, power the people. You know, so when they are complaining about the roads are not good, yes, a lot of the ministers and the governments, who trained them? Who taught them what? Who trained them? A lot of them had the education from where? And even that, are they allowed? Do they leave them? I remember when they said that they wanted to give free education to Ghana. I heard it from somebody who said that the IMF was against Ghana giving free education to their own people. The IMF was against that. It was amazing. Right? They were against Ghana giving free education to their own people. It's amazing. Which means they have to make sure the people are kept in ignorance. And yet you have a lot of people debate it. For me, the greatest opportunity is for you to give the people the ability to read and write and go for knowledge for themselves. You know, then they can go to the internet to search. Then they can go to the library to look for the truth. Then they can go for lectures and listen. But if they can't read, they can't write, it becomes that much difficult to live in a world that is run on information, on knowledge. You know, so once you are that much negative about the work ethics, develop the people. When you pick them, develop them, teach them about work ethics, teach them about them being truthful. They also have a lot to teach you because they are living the culture. But when it comes to productivity and working in an organized environment, in a factory, in a company, teach them. Tell them this is how you do it and have the culture in mind. Don't just teach them as if what you're teaching them is better than what they know or is more superior. Then you become just like the slave man who came to tell them that they were nothing, and who came to give them their religion to tell them that what you have is wrong. And yet he was not expressing anything truthful or anything of love. You know, so these are some of the things that concern me because we are still building. We are still building. Go to Nigeria, it's similar things that you will meet there. And the person was even comparing Ghana and Nigeria and said that the Nigerians are a bit straightforward and honest. I've dealt with Nigerians who have the same kind of structures, the same kind of attitude, just like us. You know, just like us. I've dealt with a lot of them. And I'm not so much interested in talking negatively about any African country or any African people. We are learning. We have been through a lot. I'm not interested in talking negative about Jamaicans or African Americans or Africans who live in Canada or anywhere. I'm more interested in the positive. How do we blow it up so much that it overshadows our negatives? Because if you want to change anything, it's not just about stopping the negative. You can stop the negative and still not go anywhere. But you can build the strength, and the strength will become so much powerful that it overcomes the weakness, the weakness. And that's what we have to do as a people. So when you come here or when you're given any platform to talk, please focus on the positives because that's how you build. That's how you build. We've been so much trained to look at the negative. The average African everywhere in the world is so much negative towards their own kind, towards their own people. We don't even trust our own people that much. Because of the system. The system painted somebody as white. Jesus is white. Everything white is honest. And the white people know that. Everything white is credible. You know? And the white people know that. The financial system should be explained to negative people. Know the GDP of the country before you compare. You see? The GDP, even after America printed their own money, and they tell us we can't print our money. They tell us we can't print our money, but they print their money. So we have to be that positive, because the global power structure, a lot of our people don't know it. They don't understand it. They have no clue. You know, they have no clue. And so they just talk as if our presidents don't know anything. No, they know something. They know something. So when you come, please focus on the good things. It's so much important. Focus on the good thing. When you feed your mind so much of the negatives, you will never see the positives because of the programming. Yes, and that's what they wanted to achieve when you are so much negative. So much negative. Yes. So yes, because yes, Nigerians are just like Ghanaians. Yes, it's the same people. It's the same people. We will become. Nigerians probably will be a bit more abrasive, but it's the same people. We all need information to understand how things are run, so that we can build Nigeria, we can build Ghana, we can build Kenya, we can build South Africa. When they talk about South Africa, for instance, look all over the world where the white man and his people live. They say they are developed. Don't you see a common thread where business, trade, law protected the white interests? Therefore, white South Africa had to develop, not because they are white and they're intelligent as they made us to believe. It's because they transfer money and technology to them because they look like them. And wherever the black people live, they've suffocated them. They make sure that they will not have access to power, they will not have access to trade, to technology, to money. And this you see, technology is technology. Anybody at all can copy it and replicate it and multiply it, if I'm willing to pick it. But you need money, you need structures, you need systems. They make sure that these systems that industrialize any country will not go to anybody who look like me, who look in Nigeria, in Ghana, where countries were black African dominant. They were suffocated. They were cut out of the technology, of the money, of the systems that develop nations. It's not because they were ignorant. And these are the things that they have been teaching us all these years. So we believe that because we've not been able to industrialize to the level that we should, it means that we were not intelligent. Everybody else has developed. It's not so much that they're intelligent. It's so much of the invasion, of the lies, of the greed. And so when you come here, for instance, they talk about malaria. They killed the malaria with DDT. But when it came to West Africa, they said that DDT is not good for the environment. That's what they said. Instead of them, there was a time that they could have killed all the malaria or DDT spraying everywhere. They said that no, malaria is not good, and the DDT is not good, so leave it. And then malaria, because for us to buy malaria drug is a big business. So there's a lot that we all have to learn about the systems, about the structures, so that we can all prosper. And it's so key. So when you come, it's not like the Africans have not made any effort. We have made a lot of effort. We have fought a lot of battles. We have fought. If you don't know, before Gold Coast, we fought a lot. During Gold Coast, we fought a lot. Even when we had our independence, still, who overthrew the government of Nkrumah? All the African countries that have had a lot of coups, who overthrew them? Who equipped them? Where did they get the guns? Who? Did they manufacture the guns themselves? So there's a lot. So when you come, you have to know, all Nigerian friends are some of the most progressive and intelligent on the planet. Yes. And yet they have been able to brand Nigeria to say that, oh, Nigeria man is dishonest, is 419. So it's not true. It's one people with one destiny, one DNA. Yet the kind of programming that they have given us is said that we even don't trust ourselves so much. And the same, I'm sure if you go to Jamaica, I'm sure it's the same. They will love the white man more than they will love themselves. I'm sure if you go to African American countries, I'm sure the average African will defend and say that the white man is more honest than the average black man. It's a program. It's not so much true. The average black man will even tell you that the white man is more intelligent. It's not true. It's not true. No. It's not true. So these are the things. So when you come, be positive, please. Be positive. The workers, teach them. The government structures understand that it takes a while for government structures to work and to be built. And that is if they have even been left alone to build. They have not been left alone to build. Go and check the loan interest rate that they give African countries when they go for loan. If they have to go for loan at all, that's another thing that I don't understand. So my name is Opedago. I'm talking about diasporans. Be positive about Africa. When you come to Ghana, be positive. If you're Ghanaian and you are trying to relocate, when you can, be positive. Don't be so much negative. The negativity is too much. And because that is what they have trained you all your life to believe. When it comes to Africa, it has to be negative. When it comes to Africa, it has to be about ignorance. When it comes to Africa, it has to be about corruption and bad leadership. When it comes to Africa, it has to be about lack and disease. That is a program that they promoted. And that's a program that you and I know is not so much the truth. So there is a need to cleanse our thoughts and feed it with positivity before you decide to even come to Africa. Everything told about Africa from the West are lies, and that's so true. Everything. Everything. So we need to change that, because I see that you can live a very comfortable life when you understand these things. If you don't understand these things, it will be very difficult, because then any little thing that anybody does to you, you have to extend it to all of us. My name is Kwabena. I'm talking about diasporans. Don't be that negative about Africa, about Ghana. Don't focus on the negativity. And I'm talking about this because of some of the videos that I've watched about diasporans who have come to live here, and some of the experiences. I even heard one say that I look at the road, I wanted to go back. If you came for your comfort, that's okay. But Africa needs those who come to say that this is Africa and we are developing it together. That I think it should be the agenda. And that when you come and you see the bad road, the so-called bad road, you see the so-called lack of electricity or bad government structures and services, that these are the things that we all have to improve. And they even went to extent to say that the Ghanaians, they were specific on the Ghanaian character to say that the Anansi story, Ghanaians are very crafty. They will not come and confront you, but they will not be truthful to you. And I say that it depends on the Ghanaians that you're dealing with. It depends on the community, depends on their level of expertise, it depends on their professionalism, it depends on their values. These things you must look in every culture. You must look for these. Of course, some countries have been able to build this in the minds of the people, but Africa has not done that. We have relied on our own culture, but as countries that must develop this ethics for everybody. I don't think that we have had any time to really put this in the people. So once in a while, you will meet people like that. But I can also tell you, there are so many people who are good, who are kind, and the same people who are that much negative will also tell you people who went all their way to give them support, to give them help, to even put their life on the line just to serve them and just to protect them. And I think those are the stories that you share loudly, because if you've been beaten and been destroyed, you don't need the negatives. You don't need the negatives. And the negatives can even be understood. So don't compare Ghana to America and all that. Ghana has not had slaves, worked for them for 300 years without money, without paying them. Ghana has not invaded countries, and Ghana has not taken all this gold and diamond from everybody to build their country. Ghana has not taken people's patents and built business out of them. We are developing on our own part, and therefore that part cannot be as the part of America or of England. So our part is different. And so some of the things that you see, as a matter of fact, most of you, when you come here, those of you who have come for the very first time, you are even shocked to see the level of progress, because that's not the picture they even push to you. So there is a lot of battles that we are still fighting, especially the mental battles that we are doing as a people. So the least you can, and I'm not making excuses. We can do better. That I agree, But for you to extend that to everybody, and for you to brand the country and tell us all the negatives, as a lot of the times I'm much more disappointed in those things. When you meet them, solve them, because you meet those things, or there's no policeman who is going to put his leg on your neck and kill you. And when you're pleading and you have not done anything wrong, it doesn't happen like that. Those are the stories that you put out there, and the other things we solve them, because every family has somebody who does not support. There's no way that we are all going to be on one page, as we say. It's not going to be possible. But we need some number of that. And so when you come with that thinking that this is our country, this is our continent that we are developing. There are troubles, but we have overcome a lot of them, and we are still developing. I'm not saying that we are angels. You meet people that will disappoint you. Huge, prominent people who disappoint you. A lot of the time when you confront them, a lot of the times they even are not conscious so much of the effect, of the ramifications of their decisions and their choices, because they also were trained in the same structure. That's why they will send their children to America to go to school. When they are sick, they will send themselves to the so-called better healthcare. Why would they make that decision? Because they believe that something built outside what they have is better. And that's the problem of all Africans around the globe. They think that what they have is inferior to what somebody else has. So when they come, they're looking for all the inferiority, in the name of being objective, being frank. Somebody even told me, my friend, he told me that Africans must be bold to tell themselves the truth. And in that article that I read, he also said that just as they even sold their own people. If you go to study history very well, that's a major thing. I remember Professor Small used to say this. He said that just 1, 2, 3 people sold does not mean the whole Africa sold you. And that's true. There are kings and queens who fought with their lives to prevent our people from being sold. Those stories, they didn't put them. They didn't teach you. If you trust the history that they have taught you, then trust this one. But I don't trust anything that they have taught us. The ones that I found myself, I want to know. So when this thing, as they sold us, I can tell you, it was an invasion. Europe, with powerful military weapons, invaded Africa. Don't forget that. Those who built the ship and brought those chains were not Africans. Those stories you must know. Those stories you must know. They don't equal. They don't equal. 90% and 10% are not the same. Are you saying that the Africans sold 50% of all the people that we moved? Over 60 million people over the 200 years or so? No, we didn't sell that volume. So they will tell you that, the Africans sold us. How much? Ask them their percentage, and ask them which tribes were that powerful to even sell, and what is the benefit? What is the proof of us selling them? Where is it? Which African tribe has developed so much out of the proceeds from those tradings? Where is it? It's all invasion. That you should ask yourself. So that is so we have used our natural resources wisely. Left our own, it will last forever. Yes, if they hadn't come. So it was invasion, they came for power. Yes, so how can we come out of this? How can we come out of it? My first submission will be the awareness, just as I'm doing, just as you are doing. Because the lies are a major problem. The ignorance of the truth, of the reality is our problem. Being able to attack and tell our people that, listen, it's not so much as you believe it. They wrote books and push out systems to make sure that we never get up out of these lies and out of this ignorance. If you go to there are a lot of churches up to date, you see Jesus as white image hang in the churches. Statues, you go across everywhere, it's there. This is a major truth, that there is much that we don't know. It's more of the awareness. It's more of you knowing, it's more of me knowing, and then knowing that the idea of us not working together and promoting what we have is also a major problem. And that somebody so much has to depend on the wealth that we have as a people. And studying their achievement, our great achievement, from the Ashanti Kingdom to Yoruba, to Shona, to Ewe, to everywhere. the beauty in our culture. And that if somebody tells us that we are tribal, and we are fighting ourselves, there to prove that the British and Germans, they are not one. They are not one. The Irish, I stayed with some of them. They don't like the British. They like them. We need to stop believing in what the words say about us and begin to learn about who we are. Yes, beginning to learn about who we are. And I think there is more information going out now that is helping. But the structures are still that powerful. Don't forget that the media is that powerful. These Bretton Woods institutions are still very much powerful. You know, they're many powerful. So I don't focus so much on the structural governmental level. I focus so much on the individual level, what we can do to at least understand the situation, what we can do. And I think the answer is more in you, in me, in another person at the individual level, being aware of this, because that is what is their strength. The majority of the people not being aware has fed their strength. You know, the majority of the African Americans who think, as you come in live stream, as you come in, please like the stream. Thank you very much, Tilly, to the top. Thank you very much. So there is so much that we have to learn. And those who know something must not keep it to themselves. They must put it in books, put it on the internet, put it in videos, let people be aware. Because these are the things that are debunking some of the things that we grew up with, some of the lies that we grew up with, some of the errors that we grew up with. What would make the average African believe that if he goes to America, he will succeed? What will make the average African believe that he needs American passport to succeed? It's the programming. It's not true. It's not true. The moment you have the right financial information, the moment you have the right business skills, if it's about money, you can succeed anywhere in the world. In Ghana, you can build. If you understand money, the systems that run money, if you understand wealth and how it's created, if you understand entrepreneurship, business structures, if you have any skill, if you can spot business need, you don't need visa to go and work anywhere to be prosperous. No. Especially wealth that is created out of fulfillment and out of ingenuity. When you need your brain to create wealth, once you can think and be responsible, be hardworking, be honest, and feed on knowledge to build anything, you don't need to travel anywhere. We have done that in Ghana. We have built something in Ghana just by believing that we can do it. And I can tell you that a lot of our mates that move somewhere probably are not close to what we've been able to build over the last 10 or 15 years, you know. So it's not so much, it's a lie for me to complete school in Ghana and not look at any opportunity in Ghana. And I think that I have to travel to England, to, you know, a lot of these areas to give a start and to have a fair chance at life. It's a program. It's not true. It's so much of the American movies. It's so much of the things that we are taught in school. It's so much of the things that we are taught on radio and on TV. It's so much of the things that we are taught in churches and mosques. All right. So where we are largely taught not to be so much positive about the things that we have, the prosperity that we have, and to look up to somebody, God, somewhere to come and save us. This is how we've been programmed. And these are the things that we have to diffuse. These are the things that we have to diffuse. And once anybody, because people have that power to create themselves if they understand these things. If they understand these things, they can build from wherever they are. Everybody has the opportunity to build from wherever they are. The problem is the ignorance. The problem is believing a lot of these lies that they have told us. The problem is believing that if I'm a doctor in Ghana and somebody is a doctor in America, that person is better. That's a lie. If I'm a doctor in Ghana and I can get some basic salary, I can build wealth. Give myself 15 years. If I have proper knowledge, I can build wealth. If I'm a mechanic in Ghana, if I'm able to save some little money and have good formation, I'll be able to grow that seed from there into wealth. The problem is the knowledge. It's not so much that Africa is not good. It's not so much. It's a lie. And that's a major problem. A major problem is being able to tell our people that what you have is enough to build. And that a lot of the things that you see is like cemetery. It's well dressed, it's nice, but until you start to dig, you will not see what is beneath it. And that is what, and that's why most Ghanaians will find out when they travel to England. They find out, is this the case? When they travel to America, they will see, my life would have been better even in Ghana. Those who have information, they will easily see it. Those who understand numbers, they will easily see it. You have to trade your life to get salary. You have to trade that's the system that they've built. They give you credit and you pay all your life. They build a house for you. You have to use half of your years on earth to pay a house, which is 4-bedroom. It's an extension of a system that dehumanizes a human being. And thank God those systems are not so much widespread here. So once you have a level of awareness, you'll be able to build something like that. And that is where freedom comes from. And most of these structures that they have built around the world is not built on your freedom and on your peace. They are built on you being used and destroyed. And it doesn't matter your career. It doesn't matter your profession. The financial structure of the white man, of the West, is built to extract everything from you, to invade you, to destroy you. And that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. So my name is Kwabena. I'm saying that don't be so much negative when you come to Africa. Don't be so much negative. If nothing at all you visit, be positive. Don't focus so much on, you see the children selling on the street. You focus so much on, they don't have anything here. You focus so much on that because that is what you've been fed with all your life as an African. That's why you've been fed with all over. I mean, all the pictures that you saw in Africa is what? It's negative. So when you come here, yes, thank you. The system is fraud. I'm returning back to Caribbean. We have been conned. It's true. If you want to live the life, understand the power structure. You work for 10 years. How much have you been able to save? If you lose your job for the next 1 year, are you sure that you'll be able to continue to pay that mortgage and have money, save for retirement and send your children to school and take care of your health? No. If they say that they are so much powerful and prosperous, why is everybody not a millionaire? What do people have to work all their lives? And if they stop work, they have nothing. Can you look at the system well? At the system well. This is a system that pays even salary on color, on race, on gender. And you tell us that when you come here, you want to see all the negatives? No. When you come, see the positives. When you come to Ghana, when you come to Nigeria, let's see the positive. You've been groomed so much to see the negatives. Let's see the positives. Because until we see the positives, we will not be able to take advantage of all the benefits and all the prosperity here. So when you relocate, please see that the work is for all of us. We are the ones to do this work. We are the ones to build our continent. We are the ones to build our country. Maybe you can change the education. Maybe you can help with the religion. Maybe we can help with the work ethics. Maybe you can help with awareness. What is it that you can do to help? Because we all operate from the level of awareness, of our consciousness, the level of the knowledge that we have. If the knowledge is weak, we operate at that level. If the knowledge is right, we operate at that level. So if your knowledge is weak, then you do. So don't just say that the people are, no. They operate with a certain level of knowledge. And don't forget, most people don't read that much anyway. So all the thing that they depend on is the one that they see on TV, they hear on radio, they are taught in church, or they were taught in school. And you and I know that a lot of the things that we are taught in school, we are taught in churches, they are not there to help us to live the best of our lives. They are there to scare us, not to take even risk into destiny. When you go to church, they say, Jesus is coming. So if Jesus is coming this year, what would you want to plan for the next 20 years? Because Jesus is coming. So you will not plan for the next generation. You will not. You will not plan for anything. So understand the structure. Understand the system. That we are not disadvantaged. We are not disadvantaged. And if you come to Ghana, you come to contribute, no problem. But Africa is sufficient. Africa is enough. What Africa needs is the awareness. It's the knowledge of self, knowledge to see the worth that they have. It's the awareness. That's all the Africa needs. Africa does not need all the laws that they push on them. No. Africa does not need all those things. My friend told me long ago, he said that, listen, Africa does not need any help. Africa can build from where Africa is. and friend, Julius. He said that. He worked with most of these consultants, and he sees how Africans who from diaspora think that they are better positioned, better informed. I think those are wrong. You are differently positioned, differently informed, but not better. And when you come, you have college education, and you want to compare your level of education with the guy who just finished senior secondary school or JSS or didn't even go to school at all. And you expect this kind of work ethics from that person. Meanwhile, you have worked in the so-called corporate world, organized world, as they have made you to believe. What do you compare it to? I don't understand. And that makes you feel like, this person should have been upfront and be organized, and they should have told you that he's not coming 1 o'clock, he's coming 2 o'clock. He's not working in that kind of structure, and that does not make him inferior. He's doing the best he can with himself. He can improve if you're merciful and patient with him. Not everybody, but a lot of them, you can groom them, because we have groomed a lot of them, and you have worked with them. Do they disappoint? A lot of the times. But do you focus on the negatives? Not at all. We continue to focus on the positive, because that is how we are going to build it. That's how we train them. We are patient with them. We encourage them. We teach them. We teach them. We say that this is how you do this. This is how you do this. If you do it this way, these are the effects. If you do it this way, the company will collapse. If you are straightforward with the sales, we can do more. We can get more to share. When you come on time, let us know. If you don't come on time and we ask you, don't say that you were here. Just be straightforward so that we can get the right data to plan. These are the things that we have to teach, and you have to be merciful. Don't just sack them and just throw them away. They have so many things that they deal with at the individual level. Some of them you have no idea. So these are the things that we work with, and once you are able to do that, so the awareness is key. The kingdom come. The awareness is key. The collaboration. Yes, our strength is in our unity, the awareness, our unity, our collaboration, working together. Be more patient whenever you are working with any African, because the systems have been set. The other day I was talking to a friend and said that even the way they evaluate people's houses, when he's an African, they evaluate them downward. Which means when they evaluate your business as an African and you want to loan, the systems that they will use will be against you. If you're a white person. And that's why I'm not so much fascinated about billionaires and Elon Musk and all those guys. If Elon Musk was from Africa, I'm sure they would have evaluated his business differently. This is the power structure that we are dealing with. And therefore, we must understand that. It's a system. You can have a white friend who is nice, who is good, no problem. But they are not aware of the system that they have set, which feeds them alone and kills everybody else who does not look like them. And so when you come here, people are trying. People are trying. A lot of those instruments, a lot of those tools that help people to create wealth faster, we don't have them. We have them in another form, which is not taught in school. You must learn them on the street. And yet you get frustrated working with the guys on the street. How are you going to learn the system that will work in your favor? So you have to deal with them. They have a lot of data. They may not be able to put it in an MBA terms. And do they even need the MBA terms to be successful here? No, they don't need that. They just need something that can work and they can build them. So they should stay up there and work on gold. We have our own gold here. Yes. So there is so much that we have to learn and understand. There's so much that we have to learn and understand. We have so much. We have to be patient with ourselves. Thank you, Elisha Asari. Thank you, brother, for the thought in helping me a lot. Could you believe the net worth is €120? Meanwhile, my gross is in January, the rents were taxed. Life is difficult. Yes, because the system was built to extort. These are people who use slaves for years. So when the so-called said that they left the slaves, you think that they left it? No, you're still in the system. This time around, they give you credit card. They control your time, control your money. You go to hospital, they control everything. This is it. Use the system to feed themselves. It's always about money. It's always about money. And that's the white man structure that they have built. There's no humanity. It's always about money. Use them. And when they are old, push them aside. Get another one. Use them. That's the system. You must understand that. so that you can build your wealth. It's deceptive for you to think that you move from Ghana to England, therefore you become rich. When your knowledge about money and your knowledge about global structure is weak, you are not becoming any rich. You will die poor. You build one house somewhere in Ghana with all your strength, which you didn't need if you had enough information on business, on wealth, on money. You could have done the same thing without you killing yourself and becoming frustrated and bitter. We go there, we use 10 years to get document. 10 years of our lives to get documents. Who brought document? Who brought it? Why do you need document to work? Why? Somebody wants to work. He said, unless you have document, you can work. Who brought that? They did those. And you don't understand that. Immigration. Go and study. You study, you understand those systems so that you can do better for yourself and for your children. Most people cannot survive without 3 months pay. Most people cannot survive without 3 months pay, and they say that they live in a wealthy environment, a wealthy country. If you go to my village, people go to farm, they have family houses. They have lived for 20 years. The only thing that they need is what they have is good to build from there. Because of TV, of school, of religion, they don't believe that. And that's why anybody who sees this can easily do magic. Anybody who has studied these systems, when they see that, they can easily do a lot. They can build wealth for generations in Africa. Your problem is that you don't have enough knowledge to diffuse the lies that the white man has told us all these years. And that's why you're looking for the negative. You know, they are selling on the street, they live in the kiosks. Go to the village, they have big cocoa farms. They live from the farm, they eat from the farm. Unfortunately, if you give them visa, they will go because of the TV. They have watched TV so much that they believe that America is very rich. It's a lie that we all have to diffuse. It's a lie. I went to see my mother and some family people in America. When I got that, so is this the work that you've been doing all these years? No. It's so frustrating. You have no other life but work. Just work. And you have nothing to prove to the world. This is not life. This is not life. This is not life. And this is what we have to tell our people. How can we get this awareness out of a mass level? This is the question. The money isn't exclusively in the West. It's the mindset that needs to change so that we can access the wealth in our own life. Yes. How do we do that? You do some, I do some. Another person is doing some. We will get a critical mass. You know, if you do some Yankee on purpose, I also do my bit. Everybody is doing their bit. It's information. It's like a vaccine. It's like a drug. It can kill the virus quick. You know, so we have to just keep sharing. You don't know who is listening and who is going to listen. You know, and that's why you can see the momentum that has gathered all these years. That's gathered all this, you know, the last 2 years or so, where people are starting to watch people's video and what they show on Africa and what they say. You become aware that no, the gold is not there. No, it's not there. It's here. A lot of their wealth that they have created is just, you know, you just see it and see. Why do you think there was a global bubble? It's because of the derivatives, you know, just computer figures that they are moving everywhere. And they do it among themselves. They cut all of us out. Ours is physical. If you have money, you have worked for it. You know, so understand those structures so that we can do a lot. Understand those structures so that we can do a lot. Even that house that you might never live in. People build houses here and they never live in because they work all their lives, get into retirement in England, and they never come home. And they leave that house for some office to live in, and they will be paying light bill and be painting it, and they never come here to live in. Those are millions that you have stuck, that you didn't grow. And yet you work 2 jobs and you have nothing. If you have proper information, you'll be able to turn that house into rental property. You'll be able to build some cocoa farm. You'll be able to start a coconut farm. You'll be able to do something that will grow the money so that you don't have to work again when you're old. You know, it's more of the proper financial information that our people have been searching. So yes, they live, they might live in it. You know, so I want to hear of those often. And the other thing is the white people tell us that they have a lot of money. We don't know. We don't know. Because now we know people are waiting for $600 or $2,000. That's not money. That shows that this is a wealthy country. So you have to understand the structure. It's for the just 0.001% of the people who control everybody. The rest are at the mercy of the structure of the system. All right. And so when you come there, we come from there, don't come and show us as if you have a lot of money, because we know that those of us who know that it's not like that. It's not like that. And therefore, sometimes you get into trouble with a lot of these boys because they already know that you are coming with money, because that's the conditioning. And then when you come, you also tell them that there is a lot of money there. So why should they be truthful with you? If the thing is one city, why should they tell you it's one city? When you have told them that America is so great a nation and that you have a lot of money. Anybody who gets to know that you have money will try to, be faster than you, because you are telling them that you have and that you are better off than them. You're better than them and you have access, and you give them all this, you show them all these nice pictures. You never show them any bad picture. You show them all the wealth that you are living in America. And so why should they be truthful to you? The thing is 100 cities. Why should they say it's 100 cities? When you have told them that you have a lot of money and you are still bargaining, they will start with 200. Because they've been conditioned that America is wealthy. And you have come to say that you live in a big house in America, you have nice cars, America is great. Some boy says that America is heaven. So you are very, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a system. And if it has to do with money, there's a lot you can do in Africa. Your problem and my problem is the information. Re-editing the information, correcting it. Some diasporans have the idea to come and extort money of the richest, or of Africa, of its riches, be like the slave master. All they're interested in is to come and take advantage of resources, the gold. You see, sometimes they assume that those of us here are very stupid. They assume that those of us here are very unintelligent. It's very far from it. Very far from it. We may be sober, we may be accommodating, but we are not that intelligent. We are not that stupid. We are very much intelligent people. Don't forget that. Even those boys that you see on the street, you think they sleep in kiosks, very, very intelligent. Don't never underestimate them. Never underestimate those boys. Never. A lot of them are very wise. So just be human, be loving, and be truthful with anybody that you deal with. Just as that. Don't think that you're superior, you know a lot. No. There's so much that we know. For instance, we go a lot of the times when somebody contacts me, I go the extent to be kind, be loving, and just give as freely as I have. Some people, because you are just nice, they think that you're very naive. Some people, because you are just nice, they are not unthankful of, especially when you help, you go to extend out of your business, you still have time to talk to them. They think that you don't have much to, It's not like that. It's just because this is a great agenda that anybody who tries to show interest, we have to just be there to do our part. And we don't do it for money. We do it because of the big agenda. We do it because our people must have this. So when anybody goes out of their business to meet you and to share with you, don't take them for granted. Don't think that they have nothing to do. They don't know anything. No, a lot of our people know a lot. That one I can tell you that. I believe you meant 24. Yes, that boy is very foolish. He's foolish. He's so much ignorant of the structure that runs the world. And unfortunately, he's destroying a lot of the youth. If you think in Ghana and you think that America is better and you're waiting to go to America, they will give you visa anyway. And when you get there, you will see that it's not like that. You can get fish to eat, chicken to chew, and Coke to drink, and you get diabetes. That's all. But to get money, you need to use this proper information. You can get car on credit, but that's not life. If you don't pay, they will take the car. You get mortgage on credit, that's not yours until you finish paying it. And even when you finish paying it, you still pay interest and insurance. And you still have to keep those houses in good shape. Ghana is not like that. So there's a lot that you need to learn, because there you have a lot of miseducation as an African globally. So you have a lot of hallucinations about all these countries. Sometimes you're watching YouTube and you see this Nigerian boy say, if you are from Ghana or Nigeria and you want to live in Canada, I said, this guy is an idiot. You know, you want to move us to go and live in Canada. Who will develop Africa? Who will develop Africa? Who do you think is responsible for the development of Africa? Akufo-Addo? You know, the taxes. Yep, taxes. Taxes alone. What is the average household income in America? Wife and her husband. Or what is the average household income in England? It's not much. Tax is about 30 to 50%. How much is left for you to live on and to create wealth? These countries are not that good. These countries are not that good at all. So if you understand the structure, you'll not be at the bottom. It's financial information which they have taken from a lot of people. They don't teach anybody and they don't want you to learn. That is the system that ran for years, which were using slaves. You know, the Bible, they even took Bible quotations that will empower the slaves to fight back. Can you trust the system? You can't trust that system. Never trust that system. Never trust that. So some are planning to come to Ghana to do galamsey, the legal mining, and they don't know it is legal at the moment. I've seen some advertise these illegal activities on their YouTube. You know, when you want to come to Ghana, come as a human being, be truthful, be loving, see the global picture, see the picture of Africa as this is the one that we are developing. If you want to get into any business, get in there because you are ethical, because you're honest. If it's about greed, you see, the thing about it is that the truth will always come out. And if you're not prepared, it will choke you and kill you. So why don't you go with the truth? Because when it comes, it will come and meet it. And you'll be in good shape. You know, so if you think that you just have to come here and do galamsey and take advantage of the people, you're ill-informed. They are smarter than you. That's what I can tell you. They are smarter. So Bimpon, don't worry. They are smarter. Our people are very smart. Those on the local ground, they are very smart. Don't think that they are ignorant. And that's what I can tell you. Canada sucks, you see. So there is a lot the Africans must learn. That if you want to live peacefully, prosperity, the global power structure which is run by the whites has not been friendly. Maybe now it's trying to change out of COVID. I don't know. And even now they are saying, you see, that's something about the white supremacist agenda. It's gone through religion as well. It's gone through the other institutions. When it's shifting, they say Jesus is coming. Anything that goes against them, then we must all lose it. A lot of the people who are teaching about end time something, they were the ones supporting white agenda. Racism, white supremacy. So that's why I don't even trust the kind of Christianity they practice anymore. The kind of Christianity that is greedy, that only empowers a white Jesus, sucks. It's not good. It's not good. So it's all for all of us. Humanity must be loving, must be truthful. Why do you continue to take advantage of people because you think they're ignorant? It will come against you one time or the other. Instead of planning to come and invest in what they have planned to get rich, Gamse is not even. As a matter of fact, Africa has enough. They say that Africa needs investment. I say that Africa needs mental awakening. Because we sit on it. There's so many things that you can do. People are starting businesses with nothing, and they're building from there. There are structures. You can start any shop anywhere and build and raise capital. You can do anything to raise capital. That's what I tell the youth, the young people. Never feel like you are disadvantaged. You feel like you are disadvantaged because you're waiting for somebody to give you help. You've been trained to look for help, wait for help, wait for somebody to help you. So anytime that help does not come, you think you are disadvantaged. That's the problem. It's a mental conditioning. You know, just as the African government will go to IMF to go for something and they use it anyhow, they think that if IMF does not give them, they don't have any help. That's a lie. You can be resourceful, meaning that you can do with whatever you have from where you are to get to where you want to go. And everybody can do that. And that might comes when you are not waiting for somebody to help you before you move. And that's my mindset. I don't wait for somebody to come and help me before I move. I'm not waiting for anybody's help. If what I'm doing, I don't get the resources, I change the plan. I get to something that Esther can do with the resources that I have. Because you can always get big. You just look at starting small. Just look at starting small. You can start business with one city. You can start business with 1,000 cities. You can start business with 1 million cities. The problem is that do you have it? And if you don't have it, can you do it with the one city that you have? Because every one of us No matter where, no matter how poor we are, there is that one city that you have. It can always start wherever you have. The problem is, do you have the right skill set? Do you have the right mindset? Do you have what it takes? Do you have the willingness? Are you truthful? Are you hardworking? Are you ready to learn, continue to learn? Are you patient? Are you long-term thinking? You know, those things are the ones that can help you to build from wherever you are, you know, wherever you are. So a lot of our lives are already being damaged by this. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You wake up, go and take some. I wake up and take some. Wake the other person up, take some. You know, the other time that they said that some communities stood against the Chinese and told them that they don't come and do galamsey here. That stopped them. They didn't use the military. The village people just said that you can't do this anymore. So the problem is us waking up to say that you cannot do this anymore. If somebody continues to punch you, the moment you wake up and punch him back and says that you can't punch me again, that person wake up. You know, so if you don't fight back, if you don't push the person who is trying to intimidate you back, then they will think that you are weak. At the moment you stand up, you may not even need the government to protect you. Just stand up and fight back. And that's what we need a lot of our people do. Just stand up and fight back. The moment you stand up and fight back, they will stop. They will stop. You know, so that's our problem. And that's why they've been praying. So school, work, religion, all used to keep the people small and oppressed. It's all been a con. Yes, the content that they gave you in school, much of it is useless anyway. Much of it is useless. I think the best you get out of school is reading and writing. The rest, you can get the proper information to live the life that you want. You know, so because by the time that your child finishes up to JSS or secondary school, they've been told to wait and depend on government, to wait for help. That's why most people, highly educated people, they wait for government to help them. That's a fact. The more education that you get, the more dependent you become on the system, on government. So when the government is no more, you think you can't do anything because of the content they gave you. You can only do something when you start to believe in yourself that I can do something. And that information does not come from school. That information comes when you start to do something outside the school. And sadly, most of us were not trained. The difference being negative and being honest about the reality on the ground. No, I don't go for those. Reality on the ground, negative positivity, I don't buy them. That is my position. And we have been positive. They have told us to be positive. Do you think white people are positive, objective, and honest? Don't they see that they kill the people? They kill them. They don't care. I don't believe in this. When I went to Ghana, I'm just being realistic. I don't believe in those realistic. There is so much negativity that has been on us already. I don't believe in those realistic. We have been realistic. What has it changed? Look for the one positive and build it. That's what I believe. Realistic? No. I don't have that kind of mindset. I'm not looking at being realistic that the government is cheating, the government is tuition. It's frustrating, I can say them, but what does it change? But I want to see that one thing that I can build on, and that is what I dwell on. You know, so that's a philosophy that they have. I don't buy that philosophy. As a matter of fact, a lot of philosophy that they have pushed on us, they work against us. For instance, if my father is rich and he gives him money and start a business, I can come out with all kinds of ideas as to how you start business. But if I have nothing and I'm building a business, I can't use your reality and your honesty of the situation to build. And that's what they are trying to push on the Africans. Some people invaded, took all the gold, took all the diamond, they come out with all business laws and tell you all this and they say it's reality. You know, I don't use those. Because if I try to use them, they frustrate, they choke. So if you say negative, no problem. If you say you are honest about it, it's still the same negative. You're still negative. You being honest about it is doing something about it, not just talking. Changing the situation. This means you're honest about it. If you just show the negative, you are not just being that. You're just coward. You are just you are just reading the, sorry to use that word, but you're just reading the tape that they gave us. And that tape is that, you know, be honest, be honest. Are they honest with us? When you go to American embassy and they bounce you the visa, do they tell you? Sometimes they don't even look. They just look at the document and say, no, I can give you. Are they honest? No. but they will tell you human rights. Human rights. Human rights and diplomacy. Those are things that keep their power. They keep their dominance. So shift that. When it comes to your prosperity as African, don't be honest. Don't be objective. Do something about it. Don't focus on just saying, so what are the things that we complain about? We complain a lot of almost everything we complain about. Have you ever met a Nigerian? Said, because that's the program. It's not honesty. It's just how we talk. Just how we talk. So now, Nak Messi, that's my thinking anyway. But I understand your position, and a lot of my PhD friends are very honest and objective. They live in England. A lot of them live in America, and they give us all the objective analysis of Ghana and what we have to do to develop. They don't live here. They run away. They want to tell us what to do to develop. They run away. I always fight them. I tell them. So when I come, it will be to live in harmony with my people. I want the culture back, my sense of yes. So focus on the peace. Focus on the good things. They cheat you, they lie to you. Yes, it will happen. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. If you come and you say that you have a lot of money, why should they not take some? Okay. So be honest. But of course, there are a lot of good people, very straightforward, who come for you. Focus on those people. Don't focus on the one that cheated you. Because, for instance, you want to build a business, and people cheat you, and because out of that, you say, I'm not doing business again. People will cheat you. What do you expect? People will lie to you. Some of them could be people you know, friends, family. Should that stop your dream? The negatives must not stop the dreams that you have. Never. Must not stop you, because the big agenda is what? Oh, okay. All right. I understand that. He's my friend. Okay. So this is what I think. So the negatives must not stop you. You are negative about something, you can be honest about. If you're negative about something, you can be honest about it. Okay. And please educate the diaspora about bungalow style and estate architect we have in Ghana. They keep calling ghetto slum. I think American culture makes you cocky. America makes you believe that every word is in America. The whole world is America. That's the way they've been taught. Until they live outside, they think America is the best country. That's how they do. That's one of the propagandas that they use. There's the whole world outside America. They have to know that. And I don't know if it's our duty to tell them that, so you cannot be honest about something that you're negative about. You see, that's a great point. You cannot be honest with something that you're negative about. You don't, in the first place, you have discarded the thing. You said it's not good. So how can you, because then you will not take time to even look at it well. And that's why they try to say that we came to Africa to polish them. Already you say that the Africans are ignorant, they are backward, they are lazy. And then you say that, of course, once you describe any other people as this, you would think that whatever they have is nothing. It's the same. You are negative about them, so how do you help them? Then you are the ones, you become the standard. And that's what people have done. So thank you. Stay positive. The end. Okay, thank you very much. And along. Nak, you are here. Okay. Okay. So they reject African student visas more than 50%. They reject a visa. They reject a lot. You go there, it's prayers and fasting. People pray and fast to get visa, to go and live in a place. I don't know. Okay. So my thought on everything. Okay. Thank you very much. And PJ salute. Okay. America is debt country. Yes, they run a debt. Most Americans are in debt. And that's the way to keep the system running. And they want us to also be in debt. I don't know. So there is a lot, but largely, I think that if you understand the system, we should be very positive about Africa. Does that mean we live in denial? Not at all. Not at all. We are just saying change your focus. That's all that we are saying. If you go to any room, you choose what you focus on. So depending on where you want to go and where your focus should be. And we are saying that Africa is a big project for all of us. So let's focus on those things that will help us to build a great people, a proud people who are in charge of their own prosperity and their own industrialization and their own development. The moment you focus on the negative that the people have been telling us all these years, we will lose focus. That's my argument. We'll lose focus. And we have done a lot. I mean, we have done a lot with this, but we chose to focus on the positive. And those things have helped us living in Ghana. You know, living in Ghana. If you want, that's what makes you less frustrated and to be more at peace and focus on the grand scheme, the big picture, changing lives, developing, you know, building something beyond yourself. So always, even if it's negative, you look at the negative and say that, what can I do about that negative? You know, you see that children are on the street. Maybe you can build a college for them, build a school for them, put them there. Or you can build a business and put them there. Don't just say, oh, I came and I saw all these children in schools. Ghana is imbalanced, you know, prosperity is here, and then you just go. Shoot it on picture and just go. What did you do about it? Nothing. As if Ghana is for somebody else. It's for all of us. As if Nigeria is for somebody else. It's for all of us. So look at what you can do to change the situation, to improve it. And just to say, just not say that, oh, the people took my money and they were going to buy land and they cheated me. And the work ethics are built business and the people stole the money. Well, were you there? Were you in the business? Were you sleeping? What were you seeing? You know? And so based on this, you will be able to do something more significant. So when you get to any situation, look at what you can do as African, because we are all treated the same, whether you live in Africa or you live in America or you live in Australia. If you are dark, the world global system, which is white supremacist, at the fundamental, that's the structure. The structures that run this world work to favor the white man. That's all. We can debate it. We can. If you go to any airport, go and look. It's the same. You go to any top organizations, look. It's the same. If it has to be power and prosperity, they do not put the black man there. They say that this. Why is it that Obama became president? It was an issue. Tell me. Why is it an issue? It's not a human being. Why is it that this lady, who's half Indian and who is half African, black, why did they have to become an issue? Because it was a vice president. Why? Because to the white man, the blacks don't know anything. So they don't have to come to power. They don't have to make decisions for them. It's their right to have prosperity. This is the system that runs the world. Is it going to change? Maybe. Maybe if we get together and become more aware and we start to see how the system has worked. Because that system was responsible for slavery. That system was responsible for colonization. That system, that what is better. They know everything. They have the right to change everybody and to improve everybody and to civilize everybody. That system is what they use to build the so-called Christianity. That system is what CNN and BBC, that's what they use. IMF, all those people, that's why they think that they have to make decisions for the Africans. Even in the midst of COVID, the Africans are not at risk. They are not dying as much, but they're still thinking for the Africans. Meanwhile, they can't solve their problem, but they are still thinking that the Africans are going to die. And those were the projections that they had in mind. Because that's what the training that they have had. You can have good individuals there, no problem. But the training that they have had, the system that has brought them up, it said that if it's us, we deserve the best. We know that we are the most intelligent. We are the most innovative. It's all lies. It's not true. Okay? And therefore, the Africans, if anything that looks backward and poor, it has to be the African. This is the system that they have run. We have to change it. But a lot of it has to be changed by those who are in charge of that system. You know, if they want equity and they want fairness, because the disrespectfulness is too much. And the victimization, the subjugation, that's not work. All right. And that's the truth. The average white man thinks it's better. Even if it's poor, even if he's sleeping on the street, he still thinks it's a disadvantage. You know. I was schooling them. I saw them, how they think. I live with them. I saw it. It's not good. But the average African does not know this structure. The average African who has never lived in this does not know this, because it's not so much overt here. I mean, it's not so much predominant. It runs, but it's not so much on the street. So they are not aware of it. It runs in the institutions, it runs in the church, it runs in the media, but they are not so much aware of it. That's why when they get into the West, they don't even understand racism. They don't understand all this. So when you talk, you say, what are you saying? What are you saying? Akon is doing his part to put Africa on prosperity map. What we can do for the youth of to collaborate his dream and build ourselves. Yes, absolutely. So anybody who is into the positive, the prosperity, the productivity, I am for. I'm against anybody who thinks that is objective and is talking about the corruption. How much is African leaders stealing? How much is it? The multinationals, the British companies, the American companies in Africa, the taxes that they evade? Do you know? And if the governments fight them, do you know the laws that they use against them? Go and find out. And then you come and tell me that African presidents are corrupt. If they try to even fight it, do you know? I heard there was a contract that they wanted to cancel. They canceled it, actually. All the ambassadors, all the European embassies wrote to the government in Ghana. So if the government is not tough, what will happen? You have no idea. These people talk about corruption. They're more corrupt than anybody else. Only when it's not against them. Okay? When it's against them, they don't care. They talk about equity and human rights only when it's not against them. If their interest is at heart, is involved, and is against the Africans, they follow no rule. They set the rule, they don't follow them. Okay? They talk about ethics, they have none. Go to the companies, British companies that operate in Africa. Go and look at the practices that that go on there. Look at how they treat them. And they talk about human rights, and they talk about work ethics, and they talk about... It's only for them. It's not for anybody else. Okay? Go and study all the presidents, the British governments and the American president and German and French. Go and look at the tabs that they have on African presidents, the African government, and look at how they treated them. Somebody will say that, why? Why? So there's so much that we don't know about them. And they talk about corruption. Africa's problem, I tell you, is not leadership. Africa's problem is not corruption. Africa's problem is that we were born, we happen to be in a system that has run for the last 800 years or so, which has been purely based on white collar privilege. Okay, so the South Africans is the same. Look at South Africa. What courage, what did they have? Just because you're white, you create apartheid. Right? You create apartheid on skin color. And somebody will say that, oh, it's the white, they're intelligent. Who told you they're intelligent? It's just movement of money and technology based on skin color. That's why South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, America, that's why they develop. It's just Europe, that's why they develop. It's just the color. It's not intelligence. If anybody tells you that, question it. It's not intelligence. It's color. It's white supremacy idea that they promoted. Now, if they wanted to change, they have to be honest about it. That they have caused enough damages. And they should stop blaming Africans for corruption and all those things that they say. It's not, Africa is not underdeveloped because of corruption. It's a lie. It's never true. It's never true. Look at trade. Look at trade laws. Look at market. Look at technology. Even YouTube. In Africa, if you are an African YouTuber, the way they have set their algorithms, you don't get anything if you are looking for money. Unless they watch them outside the continent. Yeah, they will come up with all kinds of explanations. African businesses are not paying, it's all lies. If it has to be money, they have to cut the Africans out. If it has to be power, they have to cut Africans out. Don't you see that? If any information has to come to liberate the Africans, they have to censure it. That's the world that they built. That's the world their ancestors built. That is the system they operate. Are they aware of it? Maybe they are aware. Maybe they are not aware. I don't know. So when they told you that it's corruption, I forget it. It's not corruption. Read more, study more. You will see that it's bigger than what they told you. They shifted it. You see, the thief entered your room, and then they created some distraction and stole the gold. And you are blaming them. They stole the gold and tell you that they told you that somebody else is responsible for that. That's why they have been able to tell all of us. So that's why the average African, average black man, saying the Africans are corrupt, they are this, they are that. Those are just excuses. Those are not the truth. A lot of Africans are very honorable, very honest, are very caring, very straightforward. So many. So when you come and you get 1, 2, 3, say the system is no. There are so many people who are straightforward. Okay, they only need proper understanding of the global structure. Proper understanding of global structure, and that's what I think the Africans need. Okay, so if you are anywhere and you think you blame all this, the Africans, I know. He said, I know them. Yes, I studied them. I studied them a lot. I've studied their system. I read a lot. The elites are definitely aware of it. Okay, the elites are aware of it. Okay, see? So you have to study the structure, study the system, and stop blaming the Africans. They have tried. There are a lot of African presidents that were killed just because they wanted to bring dignity and prosperity and fairness and equity. They said, no. I've had companies, many companies in Ghana, who say that you have to have a foreigner white on your team before they will give you a certain kind of contract. It's there. And they come out and tell us ethics and corruption. If you don't go inside, you will not know. Go inside, you will see it. The first African president do things behind the bars. Yes, they have a lot of laws that they are pushing on them. If you don't do it, they will push you. They will fight you. They will create anarchy. And they go around to say that they are ethical. They are not ethical. They are vicious. It has not worked. And it will come and hunt them. It's taking years, but it will come. They have monopoly over resources. They sell the market. Yes, look at how they price our oil and how they price oil. Look at how they price their loans to us and how they price the same loans. Even look at the amount of loans that they will give to their kind. Ireland, Greece. Look at how much they gave them and look at how much they gave to Ghanaians. Look at even the oil. And somebody tells me that the Africans, and somebody will say that you are not complaining. It's the structure we have come to meet. Whether we like it or not, we deal with this structure. This structure has done a lot to the minds of our people. When it comes to power, when it comes to self-esteem, self-image, when it comes to prosperity, this power, we came to meet it. We must understand the power, and then we must work around it. Okay? At the moment, majority of our people don't understand this power. Don't understand this structure. We even defend them. I have friends, PhD holders, engineers, who don't understand these things. And they will talk. And they live in America. They live in England. They run away from Ghana. They run away. And I agree, many African countries have sanctions economically. They will not trade with Africans or Europe. There's so much we don't know. So we just sit back and just be talking. And then blame it. What we can do is maybe our unity and our own appropriate technology and our own trade laws. And maybe trying to trade amongst ourselves much. But for the last 400 or 500 years, the way things have been structured around this world, Africa would never have been able to develop. That one, don't doubt it. 1 or 2 African countries, yes. But if you say Africa, all of us, the way it's been structured, if you understand things, there's no way we could do better. There were a lot of coups. Who were behind these coups? These military guys that came to rule us, who taught them what? Even Kwabena and Marie, who taught them about leadership and how to transform a country? Nkrumah did theology and things like that. Where did he work? Who trained him? He was tutored under who? When he was doing all these factories, did he train engineers who were going to take over? Did he train managers who were going to take over? What was the market? If they stopped the cocoa importation, where was Ghana's money going to come from? We were moving this cocoa to all these guys. The moment they stop it, Ghana didn't have money. Okay, so there's much that Nkrumah did not understand. His heart was for the people to do well. But did he understand productivity and economics? I don't know. Did he trust them? Maybe he did. So Switzerland is the most corrupt country on earth. They have trillions of African dollars from our dead leaders and won't give it back. And yet they will tell us about what? Corruption and ethics and humanity and human rights. If you knew they were African presidents and they were bringing those monies, how did they make those monies? Why did you accept them in the first place? If you say that you're honest, why did you accept them? They were presidents. Abacha and all these guys brought this money. You accepted them. And yet you turn around and say the Africans are corrupt. How does that make sense? You know? So there is a lot that we as Africans must know so that we can deal with what we have to deal with, so that we can solve our problems. You know? And I think that our part is not going to be as China. Our part is not going to be as America. Our part will have to be unique so that we can develop, because our situation is unique. If America developed, they use a lot of our people to develop. They use invasion, they use, to develop. Britain is the same. China, they use copycat to develop. What Africa can use is look at Africa and what we can do on our own to develop. And our development does not have to be their kind of development. It can be any other, but from them. So what do we have to compare? It's a whole different thing, different situation. But our experts were schooled by them. So when you see them on TV, they have no other information than the one that they gave them in the MBA class. So they went to Harvard, they went to Yale, they went to Oxford. What was the content they were giving? It's European, it's American, it's Western. And those content will always put Africa down. So the expert will come with a lot of negativity towards Africa. So he becomes a minister of state. What formula does he have? The Western formula. So he applies them, they don't work. Then they go back to get loan. Can they improvise? That is, if they are aware of themselves, if they study the situation, if they study history, they could maybe come out with a better, well-defined African formula that works. Maybe is a combination of everything else, then that can work. But you cannot just bring something from somewhere. It's just like business. Bring something from America and say that will work here. You'll be shocked. It will not work because it's so different. So my name is Kwabena. I'm going to wrap up. What I've tried to say today is don't be so negative as diasporan on Africa. And this is what informed what I had to share today, because I watched some videos about some Jamaicans who have lived in Ghana and all the negatives that they were focusing on. I said that this is very westernized. This is very Western. And they call that objectivity. They call that being upfront. I said that is not true. Because if you want us to develop, we are already weak, they said. We know we are not weak. We are poor, they said. But we know we are not poor. But we've been conditioned to come and look at all the negatives. And those will create frustration. It's just like marriage. If I'm looking at all the bad things of my wife, the marriage will never be sweet. And be objective, yes, no problem. But it will never be sweet. You always feel like you married the wrong one. Just a basic life. You married the wrong one. Why? Because you're focusing on the negatives. Just like that. It's business. You focus on all your mistakes. What will happen? It will not work. But the moment you start to focus on the positive, the same woman, you start to see her in a different way. You look at her strength, you look at the assets that she brings, you look at the all the pluses. The same thing changes quick, because now you are looking at the woman in a better way, which is the positive way. So you come to Ghana, it's just like the same. You look at all the negatives, you create frustration in the name of being objective and honest, but you will not be able to build anything, because those things will kill you, will kill your strength. I've seen great business people who were in Ghana. Anytime that I heard them talk, they were focusing on all the bad things on Ghana. Ghana does not have address. Ghanaian workers are this. Ghanaian workers are that. Their business are gone. They collapsed them because they were not so much positive about Ghana. They were negative. Even when they have to give talks about Ghana in other countries, it was always about the negatives. It doesn't work like that. Those who are very positive and confident, their businesses are still running. Yes, but so-called poor people are landowners. You can be poor when you own the land. That's right. But their mathematics, if you use their mathematics, they say, oh, he lives on $1 a day. If I go to buy wache, how much is it? You say that the village people live on $1 a day. How much is wache? They give chop money to their families. You see, a lot of these mathematics and models, they develop them to work against us. Okay, it's just like businesses. If you pick a lot of African businesses, for instance, the man they call the richest man in Ghana, Dangote, I think is worth far more than what they give him. But it's Africa. So the models that they use, they even value the company down. But if it's white, it's a different thing. If it's white. So you have to know, don't use those models. If it comes to power, if it comes to wealth creation, if it comes to safety and dignity, don't use the white supremacist system to grade Africa. This system has gone everywhere. You go to China, it's the same. You go to China, the people in the cities, they look fair. They look white. You go just 1 hour, they look dark. You watch Chinese movies, oh, they are all the reality. They look all pale. You know, they want to look white because white is the standard globally. You go to India, it's the same. They look fair, very bright. They even bleach, just to look acceptable. It's the same globally everywhere. That is a lie. You know, it's a lie. You have to look closer to the white man to be accepted. It's a lie. It's never true. It's not how God made the world. You know, so it's a program. So the Koreans, all those, they even change their eye. And some of them will even extend their limbs and speak English to get better job. In those countries, that's how much damage that they have done. So the richest man in Africa is Dangote. You know, it's not Ghana, it's Dangote. So there's a lot. It's everywhere. Look at okay. Even look at our women. A lot of the weaves that they push on us and say that is the standard of beauty. You know, some of our women will even bleach to look fair, to accept as beautiful. Those are our program. They're not necessarily beautiful, no. But once you see it on TV all the time, and don't forget, they have to make sure that Africa is just a consumer market. So they have to put anything on TV, condition you so that you continue to buy from them. Fashion, a lot of them, they come to Africa to adapt, to copy them, then put their logo on them and tell you that they're creative. That's a lie. A lot of the things that you see, if you go to the museums and all those that they have picked, a lot of the things, the tools, and a lot of the creations that they say they discovered or they made them, if you study them, you see that they just copied them and rebranded them and packaged them well. They repackaged them and said that it's theirs. A lot of things. So much. The Dinkra symbols and all, Kente and all those, they have informed a lot around the world. Who created numbers and alphabets? So there's a lot that we have to learn in order to be positive. But if you carry this content, you constantly be negative about Africa. Constantly be negative about Africa. You know, even the COVID, we have some things that we use that work, but they will tell us to wait for WHO. So we wait. Wig is a big business. You know, we have to get rid of the wigs. We spend billions on them. And who owns those companies? They own them. Even look at the masks that they make. Chinese people are making them. Meanwhile, we can make a lot of them with clothes. If I were the government, I would stop the ones that they are bringing. And make sure that our tailors are the ones, you know, because it will create jobs. It creates money for the people. Tailors, what do they have? If they sold 1,000, they have money. They will have money. So there's a lot that we have to learn. But I can tell you, we are in a great position if you get to know the facts and if you have the information. The only reason that a lot of our people think they are weak is because of the information. Yes, they only want to loan money to us. You know, so there's so much that we have to learn. And I dare say that no matter the kind of education you've been given, is Western, 90% or 99% Western. And it's information that have been given to change your identity, change your freedom, create frustration in you. You can't apply the information they gave you to build anything here. That's a lot of our PhDs cannot do anything because the content is not customized. It's not local. You can't use it. You can only use the tools, but if you don't customize it, you can't do anything with your so-called PhD, whether it's engineering or medicine or social something, or you cannot be used. That's why you go to any head institution somewhere big, they are waiting for World Bank funding or Japan government to come and give them loan. What are you there for? To give them grant. I always hear that. I'm like, why are you there? Why were you educated? You are in charge of this institution. You are waiting for grant. And anytime they are talking, you know, we don't have finances, so we are looking for grant. Because the education they gave you was devoid of financial information and financial intelligence. So you can't create with anything. You wait for help. And that's so dangerous. So our problem is not so much that Africa is weak, no. So that's why I'm talking about this. That the Jamaicans who are talking about, and Nancy and Ghanaians are actors, those are all because of the content that they have. They're not being objective. They just have negative content all their lives. They are trying to work on it, no problem. And they say it's objective. They see all the bad bros, but they never see the good ones. Say the good ones. But that's how you build. Focus on the positive. That's how you build. If you want to change anything, focus on the negative, you are gone. No matter what you say, you are gone. You'll be destroyed eventually. Focus. Being truthful is not being negative. Being truthful is being composite. You give the solution, you find the problem, you give the solution, you solve it. You say, this is my responsibility to solve it. That if I go to Ghana, I go to Fadama, or I go to Sodom and Gomorrah and take all the nasty pictures there. I say that this is Ghana. I go to East Legon. I say that Ghana is world apart. There are people who are living huge poverty, and there are people who are rich, and we don't know that. You can't do much, because then you have a virus that would eventually destroy you. But we are looking for somebody who said that I went to Bonure, I saw how they were creative they were. This is what we can do to make sure that we all create prosperity and share. That is the person. That's the spirit. And if somebody cheats you, you look at the system. What was the level? Where did I meet the person? What was my position? Did I put something there that the person, a lot of the times you will see you're growing. And so we need diasporans. We need everybody to be on board. But one thing you have to know is that Africa has fought all these years. And Africa has been fighting. And Africa is enough. Africa can develop if they leave Africa alone. Easily. Africa can so develop. Negative bring YouTube, but that's selfishness. And nobody becomes selfish and wins eventually. What is views for? We are looking for people who will help our continent. You are looking for views. They are very small in their thinking. Feed the people with great content, because then we all will share the prosperity. Don't do it because of likes. Don't do it because you want views. It's okay if you have good and large number of subscribers, but more importantly is the quality of the information that you put out there, because we have so much information to put out there for our people to build from where they are. It's not right that an African youth is looking for visa to travel to America, not to look at America, but thinking that when he goes there he will prosper. That's wrong. It's wrong. When he has access to big land in his village, that he can start something on it. But his mind has been so much destroyed that he thinks that the land is nothing. And the Chinese man is coming to that land. And he is there trying to go and be a lecturer in America. It's wrong. It's totally wrong. And it's our duty to make sure that we get our population to a stage where when they get visa, it's not a blessing. It's just another thing to travel and go and look somewhere and come. It's not a blessing. It's not an opportunity. It's not a blessing from God to get a visa or to even go and educate and learn something. It's not. The most important is doing the work to create real prosperity, real progress, real opportunities. It takes entrepreneurs to build businesses and create jobs. We need a lot of our people to think like that. And if it has to do with money, we need a lot of our people to think how to create the wealth. And we need the tools, which comes to knowledge. And so that's why we share what we share. That's where we share what we share. And so I want to say thank you very much for taking your time to watch this. We have a lot of content that we put here. I think I have over 700 videos. My heart is to share about money, about entrepreneurship, about business, about Africa. And you can also share the page with your friends, create a YouTube page yourself, share the things that you know. Our messages must go out. And I've written a lot of books, about 2 books on some of this. And what I'm proud of is that a lot of Ghanaian youth who live outside the continent tell me, I've been watching your videos on YouTube for the last 3 months. I want to say thank you very much. There's so much I'm learning. Now my mind has come home. I want to come and do business. I want to come and build something. I want to do this. Now they see that it's not a blessing to just run away from God. And some of them will just send you a message, call you, share, and I'm thankful with that. And for me, my star is the individuals, one person at a time. one person at a time. That's my star. That's my star. Yes, it's the same. It's the same global agenda. Nollywood movies with light-skinned actors, and Ghanaian movies the same. You know, Chris Davis is the same. It's a problem. And in Nigeria, men even bleach. Somebody said that if you have money, you must have light skin. That's how much damage that they have done. And they produce the scripts based on their consciousness, based on the level of exposure, based on their knowledge. You know, they put the movies together based on their conviction. The movie is an extension of somebody's philosophy. So if your philosophy is weak, you put out a movie which is weak. Your philosophy is weak, you put up a book that is weak. Your philosophy is weak, you put a music that is weak. That's why you hear a lot of our music. The people we celebrate, the music does not change anything. Those musics don't solve the critical problems of our people. The awareness, the prosperity. They just selfish music that is just like somebody creating negative YouTube video to get likes. The same with a lot of our movies, a lot of our music. They just put music there so that they can get money and get fame. That's not the thing that we need. We need our people to have value so that they can put something, so that when the Europeans come, when they will be the ones in charge of the oil, they will be the ones in charge of the gold. They will be the ones, if a government official, he goes into government to create value for the people, not to become rich. That is the kind of thinking that we need to change in our people. So that we watch more Hollywood movies, Nollywood movies, you know, a lot of them, you don't know the problems that they are trying to solve. Africa does not have to enjoy and have fun. Africa must create value for the masses of our people. You know, so anybody who just wants to put something there for fun, you go to social media, it's just fun. A lot of the information that they share, we don't know what to do with this kind of information. Put things there that will wake the people up so that they will know that they have what it takes. They have good sense of image. You put a lot of light-skinned women there as the standard of beauty. That's ignorance. You know, that's ignorance. And a lot of the movies, if you watch, you see that there is still it's whitewash, it's Western. You know, the standard of prosperity that they portray in those movies, you can see. There's no consciousness. There's no cultural input. They want to look like in New York. They want to look like England. Because the same thing. If you don't study beyond what they put in the media, what they put in books, what they put in school, what they put in church, the system will eat you alive. And it doesn't matter the status in society or money that they have. You have a lot of billionaires who are very ignorant. They are unaware of the structure that runs and that has made Africa. The structures that have made Africa as it is now. You know, so one person's prosperity cannot solve Africa. We want all our people to wake up, and that's our number one duty: to be proud of themselves and not to feel like somebody else is better than them. You know, so when you come here, look at these things, because that's what we need. We need it in America. We need it in Jamaica. If you're Jamaican, you come to Ghana, think like that. Don't come here to say that the people are this. We are not that ignorant. I am not that ignorant. I can tell you that. And there are so many people like me who are very much wise. They just have good heart to put out and to help. That's not mean they're weak, and that's not mean that they're ignorant. Nothing prevails more than truth. Nothing prevails more than love. You know, and those are the things that we build with. So I want to say thank you very much for taking your time to watch, and please share this channel and subscribe. We want to get good subscribers as well. If you can get 10,000 this year, it will be good. So thank you very much, and share the video with friends, people who you think will need this. We need to be very positive. You know, so thank you very much for watching. Thank you.